Hello, today we are going to be showing our 120 final project. I'm Jack.
I'm Alex.
And I'm Jasmeen.
We're going to be showing you Valentine's Hardest Challenge.
All right. Alex is going to do a playthrough of the game, and we're going to talk about it.
Okay, so starting off, the heart can move left, right, up, down. It can do this using the WASD or the arrow keys. I cannot go through these walls. So if I go right, it will not go past the barrier. And if I go up, it won't go past the barrier. This is the case for all barriers. So I can also collect these coins. So I'm going to go over this coin, collect it.
And also, if you notice something, whenever he left the start position, it
The color changes. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
The color changes, but the color of the box changes to indicate if you're on
or off the box.
Yes.
Another thing that happens is when you collect a coin, it'll automatically update the counter in the top. It'll say coins collected and then increase the counter.
One thing we did with this is that the user cannot go directly to the box. So as you can tell, the neon border actually just disappeared. And that's because all the coins have been collected. But if the coins, if the coins have not been collected, then it would not, go and remove that box. So you can just go to the finish.
All right, I'm gonna go to the finish. And now we're at level 2. You will be able to see hitboxes now around the coins. This is just to show you that when I go over the hitboxes in any way, the coins will disappear and add 1 counter to the coins collected.
Also, another thing, if you guys notice, is that where we ended is where we started for our next level. So that's where one of the positions that we did for the heart. So
now I'm going to try to beat this level.
oh, you got it. And then
again,
also the neon border disappeared and
all coins collected. So now you can go through the finish and we'll go to level 3.
the other one.
As you can tell with these square obstacles, one of the obstacles, the one that's only going in the Y direction, is faster than the other obstacles.
And what we mean by hard box is the obstacle hitboxes. This is level 3. It's our final level. We have 5 obstacles on this level, 4 of which are triangles, and 1 of which is a larger circle object. If you run into any of these objects, they will kill you. If you have coins collected, the counter will show that you collected coins, but if you die, the counter will be reset just like in all levels. And now I'm going to get to the finish.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the challenging ones, and it just requires a lot of patience for you to be able to complete it. But it's doable, right?
Yeah.
No.
I think it's doable. I've did it. It's required a lot of screaming, but but I did it. Oh no!
Okay, so I'm gonna.
As you can see, this level is very hard, and it was designed to be this hard.
So yeah, like I said, a lot of patience that I don't have. But it's okay.
And I'm gonna get it this time. So. Alright, we're gonna skip to the.
All right, just lock in.
Locked in.
No, this is. We
have to get it.
We need to demonstrate the real complexity of this game.
Okay, so I'm going through the game again.
Okay.
And this time I'm gonna get it done.
So yeah, as you can see, he collected all the coins, and although 2 of the borders that were on the finish line are now gone, and also whenever he goes to the very top and he's gonna go into another screen that we have created for the user, like congratulations, you did it, and actually it will just go off the screen in 4 seconds. So that's another thing that we added for that.
Okay, now we're each gonna go and talk about all the things that we did with our code.
Okay, so first we're going to go over the obstacles. So we'll go into here, and first of all, the code for the obstacles
I realize is not the most efficient. And in the future, if I ever do something again like this, I will work to make this more efficient because there's a class for each obstacle. And yeah, but we can take this, this for example, rectangle 1, level 2, this class. So first of all, we initialize all the parameters. So the screen width, screen height, radius, the color, the speed of the obstacle, the direction. So this obstacle is only going in the Y direction, the boundary and the border width around the obstacle. Right here is where we draw the rectangle or the square. So the color sets it to the screen, and this is for the boundary around the obstacle. So we have a black boundary, and this is how it moves. So here in the game file, we call all the different obstacles. We initialize the obstacles, and then we draw. So this is for level. Let's go for that example. The square obstacle 1 for 2 is right here, and yeah. So this draws the square obstacle, and then right here the square obstacle moves. The next part that I worked on was the green stop-start boxes. So this is the code for the start square. So it initializes, appears on the screen width, screen height, the size of the boxes, and the different colors. So this is for if the hitbox of the start box gets hit, it will change colors to show that you're on the box. And then if it is not hit, it will stay the same color. And then for the stop square, it's the same thing, initializing all the parameters, and the same thing with colors. There's a hitbox, and I worked with Alex to figure that out. And also text finish, the text on the box, and yeah. Also in main, I was able to figure out how to do background music, making an MP3 file or converting a YouTube video into an MP3 file, and then putting that into media and calling it here. And then I figured to put the -1 here to get it to play on a continuous loop. So the sound never stops while you're playing the game.
How I contributed to this project. The first thing was the background image, easy stuff. And then also the heart coin, something I wanted to implement to give our project a little bit of life, a little bit of theme. Jasmeen also helped me with both of these things. Okay, so coins collected was my main contribution. The first thing was updating the score. So right here, every time the heart collides with the hitbox of a coin, it will set the score to 1 when the position gets set to 10,000. It'll set the position to 10,000 when the heart hitbox collides with the coin hitbox, and then when that happens, the coin counter will immediately add 1. Also, drawing the coins. Let's see. That would be in Cookie Coin. We'll talk about that later. But in coins collected, there's a number of things. So first thing is the counter itself. I drew the counter itself. It'll say all coins collected when you have all 4, or else it'll give you a number and say this is how many coins collected you have. Then it'll reset. So this is part of the heart death, which I'll get into in a little bit. But whenever a heart dies, it'll reset the coin positions. That's pretty difficult to figure out at first. This is Jasmeen's part. I'll leave that to her. And then you do the same thing for each level. So that's what these are. Basically the same thing repeated, but for level 2 and level 3. That's the only thing that we could figure out how to do. So that's what I did. The next thing has to do with Cookie Coin, setting 4 coins to initial locations. So this will be the first level that he sets up these locations for. This is the X and the Y. And this is level 2 and level 3. There's 4 each. Count them. And then these right here, it says coin positions rec. Basically, the images of the coins weren't completely centered. So I have the hitboxes being 0.5 less than where the initial coin positions are, and also 1 Y position less. And that'll be completely centered. Like was shown in the demo, the hitboxes will be completely centered around the coins. Coins will reset when the heart dies. I think I talked about that. When the heart collides with the coin hitboxes, it moves to a position of 10,000x. Talked about that too. Okay. You can kind of see what was going on here through levels 1, 2, and 3.
These are resetting the coin positions, drawing the coins for each level. And there's a little bit of coin collection in here as well, setting the positions to 10,000. And the last thing has to do with the heart. I had a lot to do with the heart death part of this game. You can see it took a little bit of time. This definition has 3 functions involved with it, which resets the coin, like the coin positions when the heart dies, the score, not just the score, but also the words revert back to the way you have it when you first enter the game, and also the boundary reset. But that was mostly Jasmeen. I worked with her on it a little bit. And then also the heart will go back to the start square whenever it...
Hello everyone, I'm Jasmeen, and I did a lot of parts on the heart avatar, and also for getting it to move, and also the boundaries that you saw in the game, as well as the heart position, and the very last one with the congratulations. So we're going to start with the heart avatar, and here I basically have all of these information coming from, the stop square box that, Jack talked about. We have the obstacles and the rectangles with the colors. We have separate draw levels here. This will be based on like what level you are in the game, and it'll just talk mostly about like the image that it will form, and also like it'll blit that image. I also worked on the set level current with Alex, and basically what this does is that it will just what it will do for the most part is that it'll just set the new boundary that it is into the current level it is. So like the game will know like what boundary like it needs to display on the screen. So this is a lot. So 1 stands for level 1, 2 stands for 2, on and on. Another thing that I worked on is also the heart's positions. So as you can tell, the right, left, up, and down. This was done mostly throughout an edge method that I created. This one is down here. And this one basically just tells us, the edge just tells us how the colliding box the edge of the box of the boundary, it'll just take that part, and then it'll just, see if it is within that range that we set it to, and within the Y and X's range. The last thing is we hit a little bit on the hitbox. I worked with Alex a little bit on the hitbox as well. And we're going to move on to the controller. I did some parts in the controller as well. That's essentially how I got my heart image to move. The heart image is right here. Yep, that one. So that's basically how I got the heart to move up and down, left and right, using WASD as well. So that was good. And when to quit the image as well. So we're gonna move on to boundaries. So this is essentially the path that, created almost everything as well. So like whenever the obstacles, they had to collide with the boundary. The heart had to stay within the boundaries. The coins had to stay within the boundaries. So this had a huge part into, the entire game. I had to create a lot of lists. At first, whenever I started doing this, I was just, stating all of them. And then I actually worked to find a better and more efficient way of having all of these, which was, in a list. So that's one of the things I learned from this class that I put in there. So basically that's a list for rectangles 2, 3, depending on the level that you're on. And this has the draw level system right here, and the reset. So whenever the heart dies, like the boundaries for those that they have. Whenever they go to the next level, right, the boundary needs to reset for it to be on the screen. So we have that as well. Same thing here. Same thing for the levels. And just creating a whole list of these was one of the ways that I had to find a more efficient way of storing all of this.
So over this project, we had many difficulties that we had to overcome and figure out with each other. And my biggest difficulty was definitely getting the different shapes to stay in the different boundaries on each level. I found that to be very hard.
Biggest challenges that we faced was changing the levels actually caused a lot of issues. On level 1, the heart would not go through the boundaries in any direction, which was good. But when we got to level 2, we couldn't figure out how the heart could not go through the boundaries for level 2. It was acting like the boundaries for level 1 were still active. And so it would go through the boundaries for level 2 and then stop in like random places, but it was actually just the boundary for level 1. And so one thing that she came up with, which helped fix the situation, was this thing that is called set current level, which happened every time the heart hitbox hit the final square.
Another thing that we found entirely challenging was getting the heart position back to its original, as well as the coins. Alex worked on a little bit of it as well with me. He had to ensure that the part of the coin, whenever the heart died, the coin needed to be resetted to the position that it was originally at. So he did help me with that, which was good. And I feel like that definitely did that, help that. All right.
So what makes our game unique from the actual game that we based this game off of is the obstacles themselves. They are all different shapes, and sizes. And the actual game, it's only one size of ball. And yeah, so
Okay, so another thing that makes this project unique to me, I feel like, is the way that it's, Valentine's theme. Valentine's very important to me, and I feel like I really incorporated that into the project.
It's also mid-February, so that had something to do with it.
Yeah.
We think that our project deserves an A. We spent a lot of time on it, and I think each one of our group members worked very hard. So I feel like that's a fair grade.
Yeah, and some of the things I've learned is definitely incorporating the things that we learned in the classes. I've started off this project not even knowing how to get my image to appear on the screen to being able to, get it to move around and do things. So that's one of the biggest things that I've learned. What about you guys?
one of the biggest things I've learned is to really communicate effectively, because if we don't, the stuff that we worked on could disappear. So that was one of the biggest things we had to learn fast at the start of the project and throughout.
Yeah, and time management for sure. There were a lot of late nights and a lot of times when we needed to get stuff done for the project, but we couldn't, and we weren't able to coordinate sometimes, but we were still able to get it done. So